Alright everybody, welcome to part 3 of the tutorial series. Today we will be covering weapons and armor in this game. One thing I did not mention in the last one when you're using the trade terminal is because it's mainly for when you actually go hunting. You can buy weapon ammo in this trade terminal. So basically by clicking these 3 buttons right here or anywhere in here, you can buy X amount of ped of ammo. So you get 1 ped, 10 ped, and 100 ped worth of ammo. You need to actually have the ped in your balance on your card when you're playing to buy this amount of ammo. And when you buy it, obviously I'm just going to buy 1 ped as an example. You click the buy button, it confirms it will be withdrawn from your account, and it gives you basically 10,000 energy cells, 1 ped worth of ammo. So I am just going to leave this one here. Now as you're hunting and getting loot, the same thing goes to when you sell items. Now you click on the sell tab once you're in the trade terminal, and you drag your item back over, which is basically the 1 ped I just bought, and it gives me 1 ped back. It does not take a deduction or anything. It is basically a 1-to-1 ratio. Everything has a ped value in this game, so you can eventually trade it back to the trade terminal if you wanted the raw ped back. Now, some items do have markups, so don't sell everything to the trade terminal, because I'm just going to use this weapon as an example. It has a 1 ped value, but that does not represent its total value itself. If I click on market value down here, this gun has a markup of 1700%. Which is equivalent to 17 ped. So basically I can buy one of these on the auction house. Even though it's only worth 1 ped here, it's actually worth 17 ped. So, and if I were to sell it to the trade terminal, it would give me a warning, obviously, but it would only give me 4.46 ped back, what it's actually worth to the game. So what it's worth to the game and what it's worth to a player is something completely different. Now, moving on, we're going to get into Newbie Weapons. Now, if you guys watch the Webpack series, which is going to be part 1 of the tutorial series, this is the barb gun, this is the basic scope, and this is the amp. I did not get the laser amplifier, so I only got the gold pack. Now, this is a newbie gun, which I'm going to equip. Just to give you an idea, I have 160 ped of universal ammo, and with this gun equipped just what it is right now, that gives me 7,400 shots, almost 7,500 shots. So 160 ped of ammo is almost 7,500 shots on this weapon base. So that's a pretty good value. I'm only burning, let me see, it is 1 ped. They actually lowered the value. It used to be worth over 5. It used to be 6 ped, but that's MA for upgrading weapons for you when you don't play or whatever. But you're basically shooting 215 ammo per shot. Now I'm gonna unequip this now. Let's remember this value of ammo. I had 160 ped of ammo. Now I'm going to equip the starter amp now, which if you look at the starter amp, it burns 40 additional ammo for 2 additional damage, which is a very good deal. So I'm going to equip this gun on. I'm going to equip this on the gun now, and we're going to re-equip the gun. I'm now down to about 6,300 shots. So it lowered my overall amount of shots, but it increased my weapon damage by a base of 2. So we look at this. Increases burn damage by 2 for 40 more ammo usage, which is really good. So I am now doing a base 5.5 to 11 damage versus a base of 4.5 to 9 damage. So it's actually a really good increase. Then obviously we got the scope 2, which does not use ammo. It just gives you an increase to skill percent modifications, as we will see right here. We will equip all this stuff now. And if we look at our weapon as a whole, actually let me get out of this. We will look at our weapon as a whole now. We now have a, let me see if it shows you on here, attachment skill bonus of 0.2, which is really good. Now I'll equip this weapon. I have the weapon equipped. We are going to go to first person view by clicking V. And now if I click the shift key, I basically get a zoom function on my weapon now. And then you use your middle mouse to zoom in and out. That is basically this weapon 101. And then obviously it's got a pretty good rate of fire. You do not burn ammo shooting a weapon, at least laser or BLP weapons, if you are not hitting an enemy mob. So that's really good to know. If you use a rocket launcher, like something like this, which you can see I got 65 shots, 1.4 ped of explosive ammo. If I shoot this, it will actually use explosive ammo as I shoot it. So you got to kind of watch on what kind of weapons you use for that. Now, second newbie weapons, if you do not get the barb, you can go to the trade terminal. You can buy an actual newbie weapon, which is going to be, you can either get a pistol or a laser rifle. I wouldn't buy either one of these. Or if you want to invest in some unlimited weapons right off the back, you can get a Solomon Opal. This is an awesome newbie weapon to start. It has a 0 to 5 level learning period. It burns 200 ammo and it's 4 to 8 damage. Let's pin this one, and let me see, can I pin? All right, and we can we'll look at these things side by side. But the nice thing about both these two weapons I'm going to show you is these two attachments will also work on these two laser rifles because they're also laser rifles. So you can use laser amps on any type of laser weapon. Now, look at these two side by side now. This is the barb you can buy, and this is the one you can get from the auction house, which I will show you at a later date. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull it up from the auction house. But let's compare the two stats. This is very noob weapon. This is good to have. You're going to have, let's see, the barb is going to burn 215 ammo. The opal will burn 200 ammo. They're both exceptional rating. The barb is a little bit faster. The opal is a little slower, only by 4 shots. The opal does 8 burn damage, so 4 to 8 burn damage. The barb does 7 burn damage and 2 impact for a total of 9 damage. So overall, the barb does a little bit more damage and has a little more faster rate of fire, just so you know. Now, the second newbie weapon is going to be the Offspray. We will pin this one right here, and we will compare this one to the barb also. This has a 5, this is a more upper tier weapon now. This has a learning period of level 5 skills to level 7 skills, so this will get you all the way up to level 12 to 15 laser weapons very easy. It burns 200 ammo, and it has a damage rating of 1 burn, 4 impact, 4 penetration for a total of 9 damage. So it's a little bit faster rate of fire. It has a little more TT value as it has a TT of 10 ped, which is pretty good. So it'll last you kind of a little bit longer than the 1 ped barb, but it's also more of an upper tier weapon. Now, we're going to go to the auction house just to show you. You can right click on anything, copy item link, and paste it into this search bar. You want to remove these brackets when you paste an item in here. Okay, now we're going to look at markup. This is basically going to be whatever the value of the weapon is plus the total markup. So to buy this Offspray, it's going to cost you 24 ped, give or take. And then you can find obviously different ones right here too. This one's obviously a ripoff. And for 100 ped, when you can buy them for 23, 24 ped. Now for the Solomon Opal, let's paste this one in here. And there are none for sale right now, which makes it kind of a rare weapon. But if you ask in trade chat, which is a channel we'll get into later on, I'm pretty sure you could find one somewhere throughout the market. Now that weapons are taken care of, we are going to get into starter armor. I have on the Harrier armor set from the gold pack right now. As you can see, I'm going to bring up the stats. It has increased run speed bonus right here. So this is the modified Harrier assault armor. I still use this armor, so it's pretty good. Now, This is the adjusted version of it too, so I don't know if this is what you get from the starter pack or if this is the baseline or what. But next set of armor, if you don't want to use this armor and you want to invest a little bit of pet or money into a very good starting armor set, you want to get what they call pixie armor, which is this stuff right here. You can get it in male or female. This is insane starter armor. You will use this for quite a few months if you hunt the baby stuff. And hell, I still use it to this date on the baby stuff. It is very eco-friendly. It is very cheap to repair. It does not take a lot of money to repair this armor. And it gives you very good protection versus some of the very early on mobs in this game. Now, if you want to move up another tier, I used ghost armor, which is kind of expensive, but it offers you more money or more protection, but it also costs a lot more per piece to buy. Now, just to give you an idea, pixie armor. We will look at the market value on pixie armor. You can normally buy each piece for TT value, which is the total TT of the item, which is PED value. So this is 5.8 PED, which is TT, plus 5 to 6 PED markup. So you're basically looking at 11 PED a piece to 12 PED a piece for the armor. Or you may find deals in trade chat that they will sell you the entire set for TT value plus maybe like 10 PED or 15 PED markup total. It all depends on the seller and what kind of deal you can work out. Now, moving on, there is another set of items called plates in this game. Plates basically allow you to slap on additional armor protection of specific damage types to armor sets and armor pieces. This is a MK5A plate, which is a very good starter plate. It's a little bit pricey at 24 PED to buy it for TT value, and it only has a 5 PED markup. So you're paying about 30 PED per plate, but it gives you an additional 4 cut and 7 impact damage. Now, if I were to put this plate, a full set of 7, you need 7 pieces of armor to get a full set and 7 plates to get a full plate set. But you can also only put 1 plate on each piece, and then if you get hit in the chest all the time, then basically that plate would absorb damage on the chest, or if you get hit on the arm and you got a plate, it would help absorb arm. But if you get hit in the leg without a plate, it would only absorb what the armor can absorb, not what the additional plate value is. And you can mix and match plates too for different values. Like you can put burn damage plates on pixie armor and then get additional burn damage on armor that was meant for like impact mobs or cut mobs or stab mobs. And then there are also 5B plates, which I use. I still use 5As, they're good, but 5Bs are a little more expensive. They give 31 PED value, but you get cut, impact, and stab. These are the basic stats for most melee ground mobs you will fight in the early game, including later game too. These would be the 3 main ones for melee mobs. We will get into a website that tells you what kind of damage mobs and everything do later on. Ghost is kind of a pretty well-rounded armor for burn damage, cold damage, penetration. Not really penetration per se, but cut, impact, and stab, etc. too. With 5B plates, it makes really good armor. So I got 5A plates on there on some of my armor right now, so it kind of works good too. And you put a full... And plates will take damage first before your armor. So because plates have a durability of 900, they will take damage first versus your armor. And these have a durability of 3100, so they have a little bit better durability value. And if you go to the auction house and literally just search plate, you can find all kinds of different plates from limited plates or limited use. You want to look for unlimited plates if you want to keep them and keep using them over and over. As you can see, there are quite a few. Oh, wait, those are crafting plates, sorry. Let me see if I can find armor plates. Armor plating, Plating. Okay, here we go. These are armor platings now. As you can see, buy-up value for 5Bs are plus 100 ped. The only reason 5Bs are so expensive right now is because migration is in full effect and these plates are heavily sought after during migration. You buy these in off-season, as you can tell. If we look a little further down the list, you can find them as cheap as 57, maybe even 30 ped. And then obviously the letter next to them indicates what type of damage they can absorb. These are 6As. These are burn penetration. These are penetrating and burn and penetrating protection. There are plates which, let me see, 3Bs, which burn, impact, and penetration. Go 3As. This is burn, cut, impact. I mean, obviously there are different tiers of plates and everything you can get. Imperium armor plates. We got burn protection, impact, and penetration protection, but this is only 1 damage of each, so they're not really that good. MK1Cs, I believe this might be cold. Yeah, this is electric mobs. There are cold plates too. And then if you truly wanted to go for limited plates, which are really good for bigger mobs, but they have high eco rating, so you don't have to. They'll last you a while, but they will eventually wear out, and you have to buy new ones. If you look at, let me see, limited. Let me see if I can find a pulsar. Okay, when in doubt, I got some in my storage. We'll look at pulsar plates, which I would just give you an example of, which are these right here. Pulsar armor plates. These are awesome during migration events. They absorb a lot of damage, which I will show you in a second. Now, actually, these are pulsar plates. These are good for Merry Mayhem. They 26 cold damage they can absorb, and 5 cut damage. And they have 11,000 durability, so they're really good. And if you look at the markup, they're 148% markup, and they have a TT of 20, so you're going to pay probably about 35 ped a piece for them. And they'll last you quite a few hunts before they burn out. Next step for armor, if you want to go robot hunting, is vigilante armor. This is also pretty decent for cut, impact, and penetration too, and stab. But the armor is a little more pricey too. It's plus 33 ped per piece, and it has a value of 38, so it's kind of a step up. And if you really want to get into expensive armors, you come over to the auction house armor, just to give you an idea of how expensive armor can go. Eon armor, which is really good armor. It's got 210 ped value base. It's got good burn protection, good penetration, so this would be good for robots or mobs that use burn damage. But it also has a 3,000 ped buyout, so 3,200 ped. You're basically, this one piece of armor is worth 320 bucks. And there's other armor too you can look into, like Shogun, Shadow. Shadow is awesome for migration, but look for the unlimited versions. This is basically the limited version that kind of give you an idea. It's still pretty good, I mean, but I like unlimited armor if you can find it, but it is a little bit pricey. Now, for repairing armor after each hunt, it's the same process as you would to repair weapons. Basically, click the tab, it'll input all your armor up here, it'll tell you how much damage, and you click the checkbox. And this is basically Armor 101 for you guys and weapons. So I hope this information was helpful for you guys, and I will eventually show you guys a hunt with these weapons too, just so you guys can kind of see how they all work out. I mean, they're very eco-friendly weapons. I mean, even though I have a lot of ammo, you guys could easily survive on 50 to 100 bucks worth of ammo for a few months if you hunt the baby stuff. And as always, guys, if you found this information helpful, click that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, check out my Twitch streams, and really subscribe to the Twitch channel. That would help me a ton if you just hit that follow button. I will get into part 4 of the tutorials in a few. And if you guys have any questions, leave comments below. On one side note, Harrier armor is more for aesthetics and for run speed boost for mining and everything. It does offer you a little bit of protection, but seriously, if you get this armor, you can use it initially, but try and get a little bit of extra money invested in the game and get a pixie armor set. A pixie armor set will last you quite a long time. And especially if you put plates on it, even if you get 5A plates, man, you will be set for early to early mid game worth of mobs. So you'll be able to hunt the bigger Kirby's. You might even be able to hunt Troxies, baby Troxies, as you get up there in levels. But don't expect to hunt Troxies right off the back. Curbs, on the other hand, Pixie Armor would be awesome to use, along with some of the Snobbles and some of the other stuff. And one last item I do want to go over is you want to go to your tools. You want to try and get a Vivo S10 Unlimited. This is not the base healer you get with the pack. This is something else. This is a more upgraded version of the healer. It's good for learning periods, so you can use it right off the back. You get 14.3 to 19 per heal, and it gives you kind of a 20% heal dot that'll heal you over 10 seconds for 20% of the heal. Obviously, you can't see just markups right off the back, so let me copy this real fast. This thing has a pet value of 22. And then you can normally find them on the auction house or private sellers, I believe. Okay, then you're going to have to look for one on a private seller. Or I think it's also part of a quest chain. I will look that up and confirm that in the next video. And alright guys, take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video and the next explanation of stuff.